Good day. It is June 6th. Today we're going to start Ruth 4. That's the last chapter of the book of Ruth. Then we're going to Ezra and Proverbs 6. Also, let me remind you, this is also the anniversary of D-Day, which in 1944, June 6th, the Allies invaded Normandy, France. And as a result, they asked Winston Churchill, is this the beginning of the end? And he said no, but it is the end of the beginning. I believe that's when he said that. So, anyways, we'll be doing Ruth 4, doing the first 4 verses, and Proverbs 6. Remember, if you'd like to be tagged when I post these videos, or if you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, complaints, or anything else, you may reach me through 810-242-2997. That's 810-242-2997. You can call, text, leave a message, whichever you like. We begin Ruth 4, starting at verse 1. Now Boaz went up to the gate and sat down there. And behold, the close relative of whom Boaz had spoken came by. So Boaz said, "Come aside, friend, sit down here." So he came aside and sat down. 2. And he took 10 men of the elders, and he took them, 10 men of the elders of the city, and said, "Sit down here." So they sat down. Verse 3. Then he said to the close relative, "Naomi, who has come back from the country of Moab, sold a piece of land which belonged to our brother Elimelech. 4. And I thought to inform you, saying, Buy it back in the presence of the inhabitants of the elders of my people. If you will redeem it, redeem it. But if you will not redeem it, then tell me, that I may know, for there is no one but you to redeem it, and I am next after you." And he said, "I will redeem it." All right. So Boaz is up there waiting for his other relative to come by, and he does. Now Boaz went up to the gate and sat down there. And behold, the close relative of whom Boaz had spoken came by. So Boaz said, "Come aside, friend, and sit down. Sit down here." Now this is like in a private area, not private area, but off to the side. So he came aside and sat down. Decisions, both civil, criminal, and contracts, and family decisions were made at the gate. 2. And he took 10 men of the elders of the city and said, "Sit down here," and they sat down. 10 is needed for witnesses. They have the power to magistrate for criminal, civil, and family law. Verse 3. Then he said to the close relative, "Naomi, who has come back from the country of Moab, sold the piece of land which belonged to our brother Elimelech." Well, she's going to sell, is what he's saying. And brother is like an extended family term. And verse 4. And I thought to inform you, saying, Buy it back in the presence of the inhabitants and the elders of my people. If you will redeem it, redeem it. But if you will not redeem it, then tell me, that I may know. For there is no one but you to redeem it, and I am next to you. And then he said, "I will redeem it." So he's saying, look, you're got first choice. You get first refusal, first yes, first no, whatever. And it says, look, if you're going to buy it back, do it. But if you're not going to, let me know so I can. And the relative said, "I'll do it." Will he do it? Let's find out tomorrow. Proverbs 6. By the way, I found the first page of Proverbs 5 yet. It was mixed up with somewhere else. I accidentally thrown away that with some other papers. But now I got the complete Proverbs 6, and you get the rest of Proverbs 5 next month. "My son, if thou come surety for thy neighbor, if thou hast struck hands for a stranger." Basically co-signing, but not just with money. With or for money. 2. Thou art snared by the words of thy mouth. In other words, you got to keep your promises. Thou art caught by the words of thy mouth. 3. Do this, my son, and deliver thyself, seeing that thou art come in the hand of thy neighbor. Look, you're caught. Here's what you need to do. Go, humble thyself and urge thy neighbor. Look, I know I owe you. 4. Give not sleep to thine eyes. Basically, acknowledge the debt. Give not sleep to thy eyes, nor slumber to thy eyelids. Deliver thyself as a gazelle from the hand of the hunter, and as a bird from the hand of the fowler. Basically, don't stop working until you get that paid off. Verse 6. Go to the ant, thou sluggard. Consider her ways and be wise. Which having no chief, overseer, or ruler, provideth her bread in the summer, and gathers her food in the harvest. No one's telling her what to do. She does it. 9. How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou rise out of sleep? When you can get your butt out of bed. Dawn was breaking. It's early morn. Gotta get your butt out of bed. 10. Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding hands asleep. Oh, just 5 more minutes. Just 5 more minutes. So that poverty come as a runner, in other words, real quick, and thy want is an armed man, like you were robbed of everything. 12. A base person, a man of iniquity, is he that walketh with a froward mouth, that winketh with his eyes, and scrapeth with his feet, that pointeth with his fingers. 14. Frowardness is in his heart, that's rebellion and other nasty stuff. He devises evil continually, he soweth discord, he starts fights. 15. Therefore shall his calamity come quickly, he'll get real quick, he'll come on him, and on a sudden shall he be broken, and that without remedy. Then he will be broken, and after that, yeah, there's no fixing it. 16. There are 6 things which Yahweh hateth, yea, 7 which are an abomination unto him. Haughty eyes, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. 18. A heart that devises wicked thoughts, feet that are swift in running to evil. And 19. For false witness that breatheth out lies, and he that sows discord among the brethren. I'm not going to go into that one too much, because I got a lot more verses to do, because I blabbered. Verse 20. My son, keep the commandment of the father, and forsake not the teaching of thy mother. In other words, listen up, and do what I tell you. 21. Bind them continually upon thy heart, tie them about thy neck. 22. When thou walkest, it shall lead thee. When thou liest down, it shall watch over thee. And when thou wakest, it shall talk with thee. It will show you where to go. It will protect you, and it will give you counsel. 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the teaching is light, and reproofs of instruction are a way of life. 24. To keep thee from the evil woman, from the smoothness of the alien tongue. 25. Lust not after her beauty in thy heart, neither let her captivate thee with her eyelids. 26. For an account of a harlot, a man is brought out for a loaf of bread, but the adulteress is hunted for precious life. She gives you bread, you give her your life. 27. Can a man take fire in his bosom and his clothes not be burnt? Can one walk on hot coals and his feet not be scorched? Of course not. 29. So he that goes to the neighbor's wife, whosoever touches her shall not go unpunished. Yeah. You commit adultery, you're going to get punished. 30. Men do not despise a thief if he steals to satisfy his soul when he is hungry. In other words, people understand stealing when you're hungry to eat. 31. But if he be found, he must restore 7-fold. He must give all the substance of his house. But if he's caught, he's still got to pay the price. 32. He that committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. He doeth it, who destroys his own soul. Yeah, this is much worse. 33. Wounds and dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped away. In other words, you'll always be ashamed and shamed. 34. For jealousy is the rage of a man, and he will not spare thee in the day of vengeance. He will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest content, though thou give many gifts. Once he started for you, he's going to start for you. I hope you've been blessed by this reading. May the Lord richly bless you. Remember, if you'd like to be tagged when I post these videos, or if you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, complaints, or anything else, you may reach me through 810-242-2997. It's 810-242-2997. You can call, text, leave a message, whichever you like. Remember, Jesus loves you, and so do I.